Welcome home, freelancer. Elendil here from Anthem Enclave, bringing you a full guide to the seasonal Heart of Rage Stronghold. In this video, we're going to go over how and where to find every single point available to you in order to get as many crystals as possible per run. Heart of Rage is probably the best activity for grinding crystals in the game currently. It is the fastest stronghold. There's nothing overly difficult about it. All of the puzzles are fairly straightforward. And it awards about 11,000 crystals, or a little bit more, on Grandmaster 3 if you do everything right. Compared to the Sunken Cell, for example, you can get about 13,000 crystals on Grandmaster 3, but you're going to spend a lot longer in there, and you're not going to get nearly as many crystals per hour as you will in Heart of Rage, or even any of the other strongholds for that matter. Alright, let's get started here. So, unlike a normal Heart of Rage run, you're not going to simply fly over this lava river into the first room. We're going to dive down into it. The first multiplier, this golden orb down here, is directly underneath the entranceway. These golden orbs are one of several different ways we're going to increase our multiplier, which increases the score of everything we do inside of the stronghold. Now there's actually a second multiplier in this lava river further down near the end. There are 3 separate spawns for it shown on the picture here, A, B, and C. In this current instance, it is in the A position. The B spawn is directly underneath us now, beside this large rock, and the C spawn is in that wreckage right near the crosshairs. And that brings us to the puzzle. Every stronghold has their own version of this kind of similar puzzle with these little symbols and shapes. The Heart of Rage puzzle you're doing, which is essentially a matching game. You flip 2 tiles. If they match, they stay up. If they don't, they flip back over. So you just have to remember what you've seen and where it is as best as you can, and try to find the matching tiles. While I was recording this, I actually managed to complete the puzzle flawlessly without a single mistake, which is about a 1 in 10,000 chance. And considering this is the first time I've ever recorded a Heart of Rage run, and it actually happened while recording, it's pretty crazy. There's actually a challenge for this during Icetide, and I don't know a single person who got it, even though several of my friends spent hours every day trying to get this puzzle. Once you complete the puzzle, this Shaper Sphere will lift out of the ground and drop a bunch of yellow notes for you, which are worth 20,000 points. This is actually the only thing in the entire stronghold which does not rely on multiplier in any way. This is always worth 20,000 points no matter what your multiplier is at, so you don't need to wait. You just come straight here, you get it done first, and then you move on. Next up, we're going to gather up this note trail that runs through this lava area here. Notes are these little colored orbs that you'll see all around the stronghold basically, and they're tiered based off their color. Green is the lowest, blue is second, purple is third, and then those yellows that we just got are the highest. These note trails have an order they need to be collected in. If you'll notice, the first one is blue and the rest are green. As you pick up the blue note, the next one in the chain will turn blue, all the way down the line until you get to the final note, which will change purple if you do it right. If you pick up a green note, you break the chain and you get nothing essentially, because green notes are worth 1 point, and they're really not even worth picking up. The final thing to look for in this area before we move on are these red crates. There'll be 3 of these scattered around this area from here down to where the puzzle is. When you break them, they'll drop a small amount of blue notes, which are worth a little bit of points. Not a huge deal though. I wouldn't spend too much time looking for these. If you can't find them, just move on. I generally just scan for them in the area while I fly through. If I don't find them, I just keep going. Now we're coming up on the first room, and we have a lot to do here. There's an event to finish. There's a mini-boss to spawn, and there's a Grabbit statue to get. The first thing you want to do is to gather these 5 red orbs that are scattered around the room. That will spawn the mini-boss, which gives you another multiplier and also a chunk of points at the same time. These red orbs have a fixed spawn, but you'll see the purple A, B, and C on this image are the potential locations for the Grabbit statue. There are 5 spots that it can spawn in this room. It will always be here, but it will shift between those spots. You'll need to find that before you leave this room, but you can finish the event first. One thing you should be aware of is this bonus score multiplier timer at the top right. That's the event timer, and if that time reaches 0, you fail the event, and not only do you not get the bonus multiplier from the event, you're actually penalized 1 multiplier. So running out of time will actually cost you 2 multipliers rather than just the 1 that the event usually gives. Now that we're done with the event, it's time to find the Grabbit. I've spotted it here up on one of the walls in the back of the room, but if we reference that original picture we had up earlier, you can see A, B, and C are along the top of some walls near the front of the room, and a large metal spike. And there's also a D and E spawn in the back of the room on some wreckage and on this wall where it is currently in this instance. Pay attention to that sound that happens when the statue breaks. If you ever hear that in one of these rooms, you know that your teammates have gotten the Grabbit statue already and you won't have to look for it. Through this hallway that connects the first room with the Titan room, there will be a note chain, which you can see the blue note starting that down below here. There's a golden multiplier orb, and there will be 3 red crates. The multiplier has 3 potential spawns in this room, right below the entranceway in the A position, behind a small wall just ahead in the C spot, and above on the ledge to the left in the B spot. There's usually a red crate just past the B spawn on the side there, and then there'll usually be 2 more in the next hallway. Next up is the Titan room, which is pretty straightforward. There's a mini-boss to spawn, and there's a Grabbit statue that we'll worry about after the event. The mini-boss is spawned by grabbing these triangular weights that are scattered around the outside of the room and placing them on pads around the Titan. You can also activate these pads by standing on them, so you don't need to bring a weight for every single pad. If you have a full team, you can eliminate several weights by having multiple people stand on these pads instead. Once that's done, you simply kill the Titan, and then we'll move on and find the Grabbit statue. As with most rooms, there are 5 possible spawns for the Grabbit statue here. This picture shows the room from the backside looking towards the entrance. A, C, and D are along the outside of the room, along rubble and little ledges here and there. B is up on top of the dome structure, very high up. It's kind of hard to see, I gotta fly all the way up there. And E is along the outside of the dome, along one of the walls. In this next little hallway, there's one quick little note chain and usually 1 red box, but that's it, super simple. This next room is also really easy and quick. It's just 1 multiplier orb, which will almost always spawn on this right side over here. There's also a small chance that it could spawn against the wall across the room on the other side over here. Here we're going to skip ahead a little bit. The next room, there's no reason to show you. There's nothing in it, it's just a normal room. No secrets of any kind. Stand in the circle till the flight suppressor ends and fly on. This last hallway has a note chain, a multiplier orb, and usually at least 1 red box. The multiplier is most often on this right side where I just crashed into. It can also spawn underneath this rubble where it is here. It can also be up on this wall where I'm looking now. Now you've made it to the last event. And there's a lot going on in here, plus a lot of enemies shooting at you, making it even harder. Normally we'd gather up the echoes and bring them to the pad in the back to spawn the Furies, but here we need to gather them and bring 5 echo receptacles that are scattered around the room. You'll notice that there's bombs scattered around the room as well, and some of these receptacles will have rocks covering them that need to be blown up before they can be accessed. Once you drop a bomb on the rock, you can use a melee attack to set it off and free the receptacle for the echo. These bombs are really delicate, and pretty much any attack, even enemy attacks, will set them off. A couple times here when I was picking up a bomb, I had Valkyrie fire set them off before I could grab them. If it happens and you can't find any other bombs, don't worry, they do respawn. You'll just have to wait maybe 30 seconds or so. While we wait for the bombs, we'll go over the last Grabbit location, which is in this room. If you were listening carefully, you would have heard the Grabbit noise go off early into this room, as one of my teammates got it, so we won't be able to see where it was, but I can show you pictures of all the spawn locations. In this first picture, we're looking from the left side of the room towards the echo deposit pad. On the left side, you see the A mark is above the exit door on a little ledge. B is very well hidden in a little alcove behind those rock pillars just to the right of the echo pad. And C will be up on the wall immediately on your right as you come into the room. D is wedged between that big metal ring coming out of the wall and the rock wall itself. And E in the back of the room is easiest to see as it's just sitting out on a ledge out in the open. Now as we get the last echo into the receptacle, we'll spawn the mini-boss, another Valkyrie, which will give us another multiplier when killed. Once that's done, you can go ahead and grab all the echoes again, put them in the pad as normal to spawn the Furies and finish the event. If you haven't already got the Grabbit statue, once the Furies are dead, you can go find that before moving on. Normally from here you'd fly to the monitor and finish off the Stronghold, but not in Seasonal Heart of Rage. Do not fly to the monitor from here, we still have to go finish off the Grabbits. Despite the fact that the Stronghold is almost finished, there are still 2 more multiplier orbs to get, and the golden Grabbit. As you fly down towards the monitor, you'll see on your left side a multiplier orb against one of the walls. There will also be a crate just across from it on the other side of the path. Now again, do not go to the monitor. As you come down this hill, you'll see on the right side some lights on the wall. That is the indicator for the Grabbit statue. The 4th and final Grabbit statue will be right here, and assuming that you found the other 3, once you break this, the golden Grabbit will spawn. Golden Grabbit will give you another multiplier when killed, and also a huge chunk of points. This is the biggest objective in the entire Stronghold. It's worth about roughly 2 million points in Grandmaster 3, so missing out on it is a big deal, and if you fly directly to the monitor here, you will pull your whole team and you will lose it. Hey look, we made it to the monitor. Normally we'd be done now, but unlike every other seasonal Stronghold, there are still secrets in the boss fight. In this canyon between the 2 rooms of the monitor fight, there will be a multiplier orb which will either be underneath this archway, right up above the lava, or right behind the archway hiding. Now you're probably wondering why I'm not picking up this note trail that runs along this canyon. It's because it's backwards. You'll notice that the blue note is on the far end by the 2nd room of the monitor fight. You'll want to pick that up on your way back to the 3rd phase of the fight when you move back to that 1st room. Unfortunately, one of my teammates was not aware of that and picked it up in the wrong direction. Get used to that, you're going to see it a lot. Luckily, note trails aren't the biggest deal, they're not worth that many points, so missing out on 1 or 2 isn't going to kill your run. Realistically, as long as you get all the multipliers, and especially the Grabbit, you're going to finish with a really great score. And that's it, you're done. Just kill the monitor and collect your crystals. So that's all I've got for you. I hope this video helps you get more crystals per run to get that gear you're looking for a little bit faster. And hopefully we can decrease the frequency of people breaking note chains and skipping the Grabbit. We've got all kinds of build guides, Stronghold guides, all sorts of general info about the game at anthemonclave.com if you want to check us out. The link will be down below. This is the first video guide we've done so far, but we plan to do the rest of them in the coming days or weeks. If there's something you would like to see different next time, let us know in the comments down below. And feel free to join our Discord server if you want to find people to talk about the game with, ask questions, play. There's an invite link in the description below, also on the main page of the website. Like I said before, we'll have more videos like this coming in the future, so if you're interested, feel free to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out. So until next time, freelancers, remember, strong alone, but stronger together.